Shalom, call all y'all about Shem Shah. Shalom to the left. Now, in this video, I just want to show like a brief little clip I was looking at earlier. And it's on this guy's channel. He always get different footage, people sitting there from around the world and stuff. And a lot of people, they've been seeing them chariots up here up in the sky. Now, this particular video, what stood out to me is that it actually had the same similar light that I actually seen on the chariot before when I was younger. I say I was around the time like 19 or something like that. That was part of the reason what led me to get into these scriptures even more, because I was like, I wonder where I get to see something like this, like, you know, something like this to pop up, stuff that people say don't exist, and I get to see it. So I had to go do some searching. I'm gonna let this video play, and I'm gonna pull some precepts out of the book of Ezekiel.
Don't claim to know what these are. It was just another one of those videos that was too good not to share. Here we go.
Yeah, that's not normal, dude. He dropped at like this dive.
Okay, now it's moved. Let me go. Take it down. How fast I think. Knows it was throwing you by in the store.
No. Oh no, he's up there too. Now, see? Then it goes red. Come back this way. Oh, I wish I would have got it. He's just hovering again, isn't he?
A little bit ago, when you're getting out your phone, he streaked, and he streaked so fast, it was like a green streak of lightning.
Wow. Huh.
You know, that green light, you know, in the book of Ezekiel, it mentions the word barrel. Like, you know what a barrel look like, especially if you know about jewelry. Let me get that real quick. There's another word he said that stood out to me too. Now, I'll let it play in a minute after I read this. Yeah, I noticed that redness, and I'm sure his camera couldn't pick up too much. They probably would have seen way more than what he was actually seeing. But it says in the book of Ezekiel chapter 1, and it says in verse 13, it says, as for the likeness of the living creatures, their appearance was like burning coals of fire, and the likeness and like the appearance of lamps. And it went up and down among the living creatures, and the fire was bright, and out of the fire went forth lightning. And the living creatures ran and returned as the appearance of a flash of lightning. So listen to what he said to her. Right up there.
A little bit ago, when you're getting out your phone, he streaked, and he streaked so fast, it was like a green streak of lightning.
And that's how it moved. And I can speak on this from personal experience. It ain't nothing made up just to get views or nothing like that. It's really for edification, just to let Hakim know, man. The more them chariots make themselves known and visible, I mean, the closer we are to Esau Kingdom being wiped the fuck out. Because I'm going to get another precept in a minute after I read this about the barrel. That's what I really want to get into, about that certain color of green. Because the one I seen, it was actually like a golden, like brass looking color with the green on there. And they move like that, move like lightning. Let me go down some more. Give me 1 minute. Okay, here we go, right here. It's the book of Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 15. It says, now as I beheld the living creatures, behold, one wheel upon the earth are the living creatures with its 4 faces. The appearance of the wheels and their work was like unto the color of a barrel. Let's go back and look at this color.
Wow. Huh.
Now, so pull up the barrel. Nah, beryl is it's a gemstone. It says beryl is a mineral composed of beryllium, aluminum, cyclosicate with a chemical formula, and it got a chemical formula, whatever. I gotta read all that. It says well known varieties of beryl include emerald. That's like the main color right there. It says emerald and aquamarine. Naturally occurring hexagonal crystals of beryl can be up to several meters in size, but terminated crystals are relatively rare. And it's that same exact color right here. Let me pull up some more images. It's the same color I seen on that shit when I was younger. I'll never forget it. I remember like it was yesterday. Same color as the stone red. And see, a lot of people, they don't really have faith in the scriptures with them. And they think it's something made up, or they think the white man made this book up. Hey, but these Edomites, they know it's real. That's why they got the Space Force. They ain't got no Space Force for nothing else. They know something gonna come through the heavens, and they want to be able to try to fight it. But that shit ain't gonna work though. Like the book of Second Ezra said, it should be turned to dust. That's what's gonna happen to them. They're gonna be turned to dust just from going to war with Yahweh Shah and the angels. And they stupid thinking they can fight something angelic with physical vehicles. Seeing how these vehicles move in the book of Ezekiel, let you know exactly how they move. I'm gonna read on some more, and then I'm gonna get the other scripture in the book of. One says in Zechariah, if I'm mistaken. It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 1, verse 16. It says, "The appearance of the wheels and their work was like unto the color of a beryl, and they four had one likeness in their appearance, and their work was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel. When they went upon the four sides, and they turned not when they went. As for their rings, they were so high that they were dreadful." And that's why most people, when they see stuff like this, it make them freak out, and they be yelling and screaming or whatever. These guys, they was a little bit more calm. When I actually first seen one of these for myself up close, I wasn't tripping out. It was like I was used to it. I just happened to see it, and I'm looking at it. It sat there for a little bit, and it shot off like lightning, just how this right here popped off.
That's a cherub.
Now, that's another word I want to go into, the cherub. So I'm going to finish reading this, and then I go into then I get the scripture out of the book of Zechariah. Now it says, verse 18, "As for their rings, they were so high that they were dreadful. And their rings were full of eyes round about them, and when the living creatures went, the wheels went by them." So, if these Edomites, I won't say if, these Edomites, they know there's actual ships out there, and they actually recorded them, they seen them. They spent money on a program to document and monitor these ships. They have scholars, so-called rabbis, that read these scriptures. They let them know certain stuff. You gotta be proud and fucking stupid to think you're gonna fly your jets and your spacecrafts to fight against something that moves spiritually. If a creature moving and can move the ship too, without even turning or doing that, ain't no way you're fighting a losing battle. But that's the pride of Esau, and that's why the scriptures say pride come before destruction. You're being prideful, thinking shit happen to you, and next thing you know, something pop off. Now it says in verse 20, "Whatsoever the spirit was to go, they went. Thither was their spirit to go. And the wheels were lifted up over against them, for the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels." So wherever them angels move at, they can make the vehicles move. That's why whenever they try to track them or keep up with them with their fighter jets or whatever, they can't keep up. And the angels, they actually play with them, make them think they're keeping up, then just shoot up at a speed that they can't even clock. And this video that I ain't gonna put them on right now, you come across this video and you see this, you can search it. There's plenty of videos out. Now verse 21, it says, "When those went, these went, and when those stood, these stood, and when those were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up over against them, for the spirit of the living creatures was in the wheels." Now, these Edomites, the vehicles that they create, they don't have no spirit. They manual, and not even trying to so-called recreate the spirit using artificial intelligence, but even that won't even be able to move how these vehicles move, because these are divine vehicles, not just some physical vehicles. And I'm going to go into the word cherub. Let me go into this real quick. That's in the book of 2nd Chronicles, chapter 3. And let's see. Let's see where I want to start at. I'm going to start at verse 10. This is when Solomon was building the temple. Now, actual cherub is actually an angel. And I'm going to go into the definition of that in a minute. When the guy said that, he didn't know exactly what he was looking at, but the Most High put the Spirit on him and actually say that word. That's why he brought that up. And in verse 10 it says, "And in the most holy house he made 2 cherubims of image work and overlaid them with gold." Just, you know how people, they like to paint stuff and build different sculptures and statues or whatever, or vases and stuff. Same thing Solomon was doing there, or getting done, I should say. Now, verse 11 it says, "And the wings of the cherubims were 20 cubits long. One wing of one cherub was 5 cubits, reaching to the wall of the house, and the other wing was likewise 5 cubits, reaching to the other cherub." Now, that's huge, man. Now, let me go into this extra definition real quick, so I don't get sidetracked. And you see Esau with his blasphemy up here, with with the angels with the baby diapers on, and the togas tied around them, and they got the angels with the fruit by their sex and stuff. Like, man, that's blasphemy. Ain't no angel. Hey, this definition will let you know exactly the description of how the angels look. Now it says, the cherub, the definition says, a winged angelic being described in biblical tradition as attendant on God. It is represented in ancient Middle Eastern art as a lion or bull with eagle's wings and a human face, and regarded in traditional Christian genealogy as an angel of the second highest order of the ninefold celestial hierarchy. Now, this one of them top angels, there ain't gonna be no little baby floating around with no little diaper or none of that on there. But see, that's how Esau like to play though. They put everything in their image. Everything gotta be pale. Everything gotta be so-called white. Even in the Egyptian movies, everybody was white. The Roman movies, everybody was white. The Greek movies, everybody was white. Where everybody else was at? The last time I checked, the majority of the people on the earth got some type of melanin, except Esau. I wonder why is that? Let me finish reading on someone. Now it's back in the book of 2nd Chronicles, chapter 3. And verse 13 it says, "The wing of these cherubim spread themselves 420 cubits, and they stood on their feet, and their faces were inward." And these, you do the measurements of the cubits. Like I said, man, they was huge. There were no little babies like this. And they try to give like a little imagery of it. And some of these pictures, let me see if I can pull them up. If I'm not mistaken, the other one, you got the cherubim and the seraphim. Let me see the definition of that one. Yep, so Raph. That's how you say it. Now it says, an angelic being regarded in traditional Christian genealogy as being belonging to the highest order of the ninefold celestial hierarchy associated with light or door, which is really supposed to be order, just another word for order. And it says impurity. Now, the little play images they be putting up, man, that's not what it is. But through the Spirit, God seen this. And it hit him to say that. Like, the most average